a woman-to-woman conversation, but just as a human being above all. And like I said before, like, yes, I am also like anti-label, but at the same time, I have to recognize that like this is where we are right now, and a lot of people need that in order to feel identified and to feel represented in so many ways. And that's our current reality, and whatever we can do to support each other in that space, and like you said, recognize your own privilege
until it's normalized.
Until it's normalized.
Until it is like the day goal where we can all be like, you know what, let's all exist.
Let's just all exist. And I actually very proudly have 2 individuals behind the camera that have so proudly made me an honorary queer individual as part of the community today, that told me and shared with me so transparently. They said, I come out every day. I come out every day because that's the time that we live in. We can't just be anymore. We have to make it clear.
On that point of having to come out every day, in this industry, a lot of the gigs that come to me, unfortunately and fortunately, they're like, oh, you're queer. Can you come talk about queerness? You know what I'm saying? Like all the time. It's, you know what I'm saying?
I was so happy to have you on this episode so you could say exactly that.
Exactly.
So you can say exactly that.
It's like, oh, she's queer. We'll give her the queer award. Like she's, oh, we can have her speak on this panel. And it's like, okay, yes, I'm a queer woman and I love that about myself. I honor that and I am that. However, I'm also a very intelligent, very talented artist. Right? So there's a lot more to me than just my queerness. And that's what I find strange, is that people are so concerned about who people are fucking, who people are loving. Why is that your business? Stay in your business. Stay in your bed.
I relate. And that's why I think, you know, when I talk about representation and I talk about our connection with our communities, and even though, yeah, it's flawed in a lot of ways because we are so judgmental in our society and how much access we have to each other, but we can only lead by example, right? We can't tell people how to live their lives, but we can only lead by example. And one of the biggest things that has been really hard for me, and you know this on a personal side, is like true self-acceptance. No matter what that looks like for everyone or in what position they are in their lives, whether it's on a personal level or whether it's their business, true self-acceptance is so hard. It's actually, we throw around self-love like too easy.
But
especially in the industries that we work in, it's like, love yourself so much so other people love you, but what are we loving ourselves with? With the money, with the nice cars, with the houses? Is this me? Is this mine to wear? Actually, it's not. I've never been able to grab onto these things and say, this feels right. Oh my God, I feel so relieved. If anything, I feel worse. That's my truth. And having worked in this industry since a very young age, which I know you really, really identify and recognize. And so talking about true self-acceptance and like true self-love, like I'd like to know from you, like what you would tell, because especially in this time, right, there's a lot of like youth out there that is spending a lot more time at home. It's literally too easy to just do this, even in a conversation with each other, you know?
First of all, I would say put the phone down and go outside. Take your shoes off, go for a bike ride, plant yourself on the earth and breathe into that and be present in that moment. Try not to think about other things when you're doing that. And just stay there for a few breaths. Even if that's as long as you can last, is just 3 breaths, do 3 breaths. But if you can last longer, do it for longer. Stay outside. I also think writing down your feelings is a huge help because it helps you. It takes the chaos that's happening in here that you keep repeating to yourself in the thoughts, and it puts it onto paper so you can read it to yourself and you can see if it's really how you're feeling. Or you can see what parts resonate with truth and what parts don't. Because unfortunately, dude, our kids right now, like the youth, are growing up in a very desensitized space online. They're not growing up IRL. They're growing up online. If they have access to phones. And if they don't have access to phones, it's a whole nother world for them. And they're in extreme poverty and they are trying to survive and help their families survive, right? So we have to also talk about that privilege, right? So you have kids who are looking at celebrities, looking to celebrities for their information on what's cool. Their information on what looks good, what's beautiful, what body is acceptable. And then you have a lot of celebrities who are fake. Top to bottom fake. Inside and out fake. Fake. And that's not to say you can't be. Do what you gotta do. Do what makes you confident.
Do you, boo-boo.
Do you. I'm with that. And am I lying and saying I'm never gonna do anything to my face? Girl, when I start getting older, I might do a little something to my face. You know what I mean?
Why
to make
not?
Sure you know? I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also not gonna lie. You feel me? I'm not gonna pretend like this is what I look like. I'm not gonna pretend like not God gave me this. I'm not gonna pretend like all this money came from nowhere. Like all I do is spend money on cars and jewelry when I know that I have a bank account that's a savings account, when I know that I'm investing, when I know that I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about the information that we're giving. And granted, I do not think that it's celebrities' responsibility to be educating the public or the youth on who they need to be. I think that our society has placed way too much importance on what the fuck celebrities are saying. I consider myself an artist. I'm a celebrity because I am alive in celebrity culture. People are obsessed with celebrities. People are obsessed with fame. People are obsessed with notoriety, what they think is making it, what looks like success. And very few understand what that is, what that means, or what it does to a person. And most of these people who are in our industry, they hate themselves. They don't even know themselves. They'll be posting all day long how hot they are, but they don't know themselves. And so the kids are picking that up. And the kids don't know themselves. And the kids want to look like the Facetune filters that everybody's using. And the kids want to be pretty, and the kids want to be accepted, and the kids want to be rich and wear the designer stuff and wear the name brand shit. And then when they can't afford it, they hate themselves.
Too much to the
They
point
hate
where
themselves.
it causes, and that's the whole mental health aspect
and that's
of
it.
this. Yeah.
It's the lack of love. If I were to give you advice, baby, if you're listening to this, find your love for yourself outside of the internet. Look within, whatever that means to you. But what's helped me the most in getting into contact with who I really am is healing my inner child. Going back to how did I feel when I was a kid, when I was my happiest? What was I doing? Who was I around? What was I talking about? What was it that sparked my passion? What was it that made me, like, without even thinking about it, without thinking about what other people thought, I just wanted to do that. And it's always been art for me. I've always expressed through art. I've danced, I sing, I paint, I speak, I write. And that's what I do. When I'm not active and when I'm not outside and when I'm not in the sun, my mental health goes to garbage, completely to garbage, completely leaves me because I'm not connected with my true essence. I'm not doing what I really love to do. Like, I got myself a bike. I got myself rollerblades. I've been going rollerblading. I've been going on bike rides. I've been going on walks. You know, you don't have to, exercise doesn't have to mean like you're killing your body until you sweat enough and you burn enough calories that you ate earlier in the day. Like,
yeah,
really changing that relationship with my body, myself, and my mind. Like, focusing on what is it that's holding me back? Where are my blocks? Reiki helps a lot. Meditation helps a lot.
I've seen you, like, you know, obviously you're very passionate about your attunement, and I've seen you do your attunement IG live since the beginning of COVID, really. And I remember writing to you and being like, yo, this is speaking to me in ways that I didn't even realize that I needed as someone who was experiencing, like I said, what we're all experiencing in different ways. And I want to know, like, was that something that you intentionally, like, did as a decision, or was it just, like, something you stumbled upon and you were like, yo, I can share this with my fans because I'm doing this already?
Yeah, I mean, I talk about life with my friends and my family and anyone that's around me. Really, I'm constantly on this podcast shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm constantly talking about the truth. What's going on? Why aren't we looking at the truth? We need to shift our perspective, right? So when everything was going down, I felt like I've always had a streamlined communication with my fans about the truth. and what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing. And I'm also very adamant about telling them, don't trust me. Go research. Go look this shit up yourself. What I feel like my role is as a celebrity, as someone who people listen to, let's just put it like that. For whatever reason, whether I deserve it or not, God can only decide, right? But I know that they do. So for me, my responsibility is to help streamline what I feel is truth. Because I don't just know truth, I feel truth. You get me? It's like a vibration in my body that if something's not right, if something doesn't feel like it's authentic, I feel that immediately in my body, you know? And I've become more in tuned with that. And so attunement is about tuning yourself up to the higher vibrational frequency that we all need to level up to in order to move forward in this timeline that we're in the earth parallel. You know what I mean? Like and this is like, we're in a rut, and the conversations are in a rut, and it's the same tired ass argument about the same shit. And we're like, oh, it's just coming to our attention. It's like, no, baby, decade after decade after decade after decade, dude, revolutionary poets, artists, writers, authors, you know, we've been talking about this shit.
Yeah, there's a reason why we can read something from ages ago and it still resonates.
And it still resonates. And why, like, now on Netflix, there's a show called La Révolution, which is about the French Revolution. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, of course not, but, like, it just, you see the thematics, the themes that are underlying in the story, and it's the same bullshit. It's the same bullshit. You feel me? It's just like, I'm tired of saying the same bullshit. I want to have more conscious conversations. I want to create spaces for people who are already self-aware to grow more into their self-awareness. Because I believe that what's actually going to heal this planet is not any politician, is not any motherfucker who wants to make money off of existence and profit off of death and justify that for a camera. And none of those people who have that kind of mentality are going to help us or save the people who really need the saving, right? And the only thing that's going to wake us up is coming back to our true selves, coming back to our essence, waking up who we really are and living that truth and creating our lives around that truth and manifesting our true destiny through our alignment with our purpose, through our attunement with our purpose. And so I think that that's going to take controversial conversations, and it's going to take putting things into new perspectives for people that I see very easily. Since I was a kid, I've always been very observant, very intuitive, very mindful of the energy around me and how I interact with the world. Like when I was a kid in Catholic school, like I didn't resonate with Catholicism, but I resonated with a lot of the scripture that I read, especially in the New Testament, because Jesus was a lover. Jesus was the Sacred Heart. Jesus loved everybody.
It was
Jesus
the
didn't give a
spirituality
single
around him. Yeah, and within him, the
Jesus didn't care. Jesus didn't care about authority. Jesus was with the lepers and the prostitutes and the tax collectors and all of the people who everybody deemed disgusting in society. He was there with them. And guess who killed him? The Pharisees, the church, the state. They killed him.
The most holy of the most holy. And that's exactly, it's something I was speaking about with my own parents and like talking about, because, you know, we all experience our darkness in our own ways. And especially now more than ever in this time and what my family, we've gone through and continue to go through. And what we try to learn from our own past is exactly that. And I shared that with my parents. I said, you know, Jesus did not spend his time with the holy. He did not. He spent it with the individuals who were broken
and needed healing
and hurt and needed healing and were living their truth just as much as the holy thought they were living their truth. What have you been listening to? And it doesn't necessarily even have to be music. Let's say it can be motivational speeches. It can be sound therapy. What do you listen to kind of like decompress and kind of recharge your batteries to face a new day? Because let's be honest, every day I don't know what I'm gonna get. So I have to make sure that I take my moment I call it my moment to myself every morning. And I just be, and it could be meditation, it could be music, a certain song that really gets me going and gets me happy. What is that for you? What music or what person do you listen to kind of recharge that battery?
So When I need to recharge, I honestly lately have only really been listening to meditative music, like music that's sound bowl oriented, so different frequencies unblocking different chakras for me. And I just have that playing all the time because even though I love lyrics, like that's my essence. Like I'm a writer, I am a lyricist. Like and I'm a poet. Like I love writing. Sometimes when I'm listening to music with words, I just don't feel inspired by what anyone's really saying. Like there's a lot of, like, the people that I listen to Janae, I listen to SZA, I listen to Kehlani, I listen to Summer Walker, and like Jasmine Sullivan, and like Erykah Badu. And I listen to like conscious Black women, really. Like that's really like who I'm listening to for the most part. When I'm listening, and like Amy Winehouse, I like to listen to people who are telling their truth through their art. That's the only time I really feel like resonance with what I'm listening to. And there's a lot more to that list. Like, don't get me wrong, but like those are the few that just like when I'm listening to songs with words, like those are the people I gravitate towards the most. And when I'm listening to just music to calm myself, it's always sound bowls, or I have my own sound bowls that I'll be playing throughout the day as well, just to like ground myself. And then definitely meditation, definitely prayer for me is so important, dude. Praying, asking for forgiveness, saying thank you, being grateful, aligning my frequency with gratitude instead of scarcity every morning. Because when we wake up in the morning and we're living in this world and we're being bombarded by all this shit all the time of lack and fear and scarcity, it's really easy to fall right back into that mentality. But one thing I've really learned during this pandemic, like really like a huge lesson for me, has been to not allow my frequency to be affected by others' frequencies. For my frequency to be so powerful and so locked in and so me that I don't elevate, no me subo. You know what I mean? Like, you can't piss me off because I'm not pissed. Yeah. That's not my vibe. You know, I'm a chill ass bitch.
It's not mine. It's not mine to wear. I feel you on that 100%. Thank you for sharing like what that is for you and how you have your sound bowls. I haven't done sound therapy before, but I'm very intrigued by it.
Becky, it's gonna change your life.
I know. Like,
I'm gonna send you some.
Heard
I'm
of
gonna send
like
you a
the
playlist.
frequencies and stuff, but like
I'm gonna send you a playlist.
Please do so, and I'm sure like the fans would be dying to know what that is because. I've seen it do wonders on so many, and
changed my life.
Really talk about how exactly what you just said. It changed their life.
Unblocked my throat chakra, unblocked my third eye, unblocked my heart. The amount of healing that pours out of you after you actually get in touch with those energy centers inside of you and give them some love and give them some attention and give them some
I started already with my little cristales and everything. Yeah. You know, I try my own ways, but I guess maybe that's the next step that I need to take.
I got you, girl. I will help you through it.
Yeah, send me the playlist.
I got you.
Okay, before you go, I know this has been like a very in-depth conversation, but to leave on a light note, on a maybe funny note, maybe if it's a funny story, I do this thing on the podcast called Mala Santa. So if you want to share, or if you can think of like a Mala Santa story, it could be recent, it could be something from forever ago, on when you were either a Mala or a Santa.
Either when I was a Mala or a Santa.
I call myself the Mala Santa because I feel like I'm an angel who can be bad sometimes. Yes, I embrace my duality
like a human. You're human.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna tell you a little Mala story. So I first drank for the first time when I was 15. And I was at a party, at my friend's birthday party. She had a lot of money, and she had like a guest house that was operating as like the bar. And there, DJ Laz was there. There was a freaking tent. It was a Halloween party. It was a lot. And I got schwasty. I had never been schwasty before. My parents would have lost it if they had known. I think they know this story now, but like they definitely did it before I started making my own money. Let me just say that. So my parents were really strict growing up, so I was rarely allowed to do things, but because this was one of my best friends, I was allowed to go to this party, and I looked like a hoe. I was literally full on in a top to bottom. And guess what? I love hoes, and I loved how I looked. And my dad bought me that costume. Let me just say.
Yes. Word.
So there's no slut shaming in this house, okay?
No.
So I was like a bunny, like head to toe, like Playboy bunny vibes, like no, the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, but like very hyper sexy. 15 years old. So I'm having the best time of my life. I'm like flirting with everybody, dancing, everything's great. This party, I thought it lasted for hours, bro. I thought we were there for like 3 hours. The party lasted a total of 1 hour because some dudes showed up to the party that got in a fight with some other kids and like threw a glass bottle or something. So the cops were called like an hour into the party, right? So the cops were called. All of a sudden, I hear commotion. I go outside of this tent. By the way, I'm like 100, literally wasted, bro. Like first time drinking, never been drunk, like totally like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they're like, the cops are here. And I was like, zoop, sober bitch. I swear to God. I literally, it was like, who needs my help? What are we doing? How do we fix this? And I literally was just inside with the mom, cleaning dishes, escorting people places, I talked to the cops at one point to help calm the situation. No! I swear to God. My 15-year-old drunk ass in a rabbit costume, okay? Like, it was not cute. It was cute though, she was cute. But literally, like, I became mother hen, and just like everybody, I helped escort everybody out. Like I literally like just helped the mom with everything she needed. And I swear to God, I completely sobered up. And even since that day, like if I'm in a situation where like maybe all of my friends are getting fucked up and like I'm also getting fucked up, but all of a sudden somebody needs to sober up, I swear to God, I don't know what it is. No sé quién me entra. Maybe it's an ancestor that possesses my body or something, or like what? But I swear, all of whatever I'm feeling goes away.
Yeah.
It goes away completely, and I can do what needs to get done to make sure that we're safe.
Yep.
I will never be that friend that leaves you at a club because I'm too drunk and leaves with somebody else and leaves you alone. I'll never be that. I'm tracking my friends the whole time we're out. I'm like, where is this bitch? Where'd she go? Grab her. She's with some weirdo. Grab her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm drunk.
I feel you.
Even if I'm drunk.
Yeah. No, well, that's why I was going to say this doesn't really sound like a mala story to me. This sounds more of like, even when you think you're being mala, you are more santa than you are mala. Like, we can do mala things, but our hearts,
our essence is
Santa. That's why we are Dragonfly sisters, because we are very much so
parallel,
the same.
baby.
Parallel. That maternal instinct comes out, and we just say, tenemos que cuidar todos. That's how we are. Everybody, no matter who you are, where you come from, you good? I'm good. I'm good? You good? Okay, we got it. Yep. That's hilarious. All right. Well, I love you. I'll let you go. I know we've taken up a lot of your time.
No, thank you for having me. Honestly, I could have these conversations all day long. Like, I love the space you've created, and I love the space that you made for this conversation to go where it has and where it went. I think that's really beautiful. And like you said, like the Latinx community needs this. We need our younger generation speaking to our experiences, especially in America, like the younger, like American diaspora of Latinx humans. Like, we're a different breed, I feel like, than a lot of, than you know, and we're find spaces to relate to one another. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're doing it, and we're doing it together. So I'm proud.
Love you, mama.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.